Okay, ladies and gents, we're going to talk about inverse functions and how do we know when we have an inverse function. So let's start with the definition. And the definition is kind of simple as long as you understand it from the get-go. The best way to describe an inverse function is with the following definition. So an inverse function is a function that undoes the action of another function. And what I mean by action, most of the time we're talking about graphs. Okay? So if you have a function f, for example, and we apply function f, and then right after function f we apply function g, what this does is the same as doing nothing, because if they are inverses of each other, they would cancel each other out. So if we do f and then right after do function g, then nothing really happened because they would cancel each other out. Just like if you add 2 and then subtract 2, you're really doing nothing. They cancel each other out. As far as inverse relation goes, the best way to describe inverse relation is when we swap x and y in an equation or ordered pair. Okay, and again, inverse relations and inverse functions are very similar, but the main part of inverse relation, with the way we're going to use it, is the idea that we're swapping x and y in an equation or swapping x and y in an ordered pair. For example, if we have this point 2, 1, okay, so that's a relation. X to y is 2 to 1 relation. It's a relation. When we do the inverse of that, the inverse of this relation, we're simply swapping, and the y becomes x and the x becomes y. So if you notice, the 2, which was originally x, became the y became the x. We are just kind of flip-flopping it. And the same could be said for when we have an equation. For example, a simple equation example would be y equals 2x plus 3. And if we want to find the inverse relation of that, we simply would swap. Okay, so again, the y took the x spot, the x took the y spot. All right? When we look at graphs, this is an example of inverse functions in graph format. So the original function is in f, and its inverse is in blue. And you should just kind of notice some things here, that they're kind of opposites of each other if you reflect them over this line. This is a diagonal line that actually has the equation of y equals x. Okay? So just something to think about when we start talking about inverses. All right, let's go ahead and find some inverse functions. Up at the top, you have your steps. We're going to do some of these examples. So let's start with A. So the first thing we want to do is substitute y for f of x, because we know y and f of x are interchangeable. So instead of f of x, I'm going to replace it with y. So we have y equals 1/3 x minus 8. Then we're going to do the inverse relation part. We're actually going to switch x and y. So y becomes x and x becomes y. All right, and then step 3 says solve for y. So now our goal is to solve for y. So this becomes an IM1 problem. To get y by itself, we're going to add 8. This is all step 3 to both sides. So we end up with x plus 8 equals 1/3 y. And we have to get rid of 1/3. And hopefully you remember to get rid of 1/3, because it's multiplying with y, but it's a fraction. We multiply both sides by the reciprocal. That would cancel out. I would then distribute 3/1, or just 3. So it's going to be 3x plus 24 equal to y. And again, this equation is kind of backwards, so I'm going to just write it in a different order. So the y is going to go on the left, the x stuff's going to go on the right. So it looks like this: y equals 3x plus 24. No math involved there, I'm just flip-flopping those around. And then we are going to do step 4, which says we can now replace y, because of its inverse. We're going to replace y with f of -1. F -1 of x. This -1 just means we're letting everybody know we found the inverse. So okay, and this is our inverse here. Step 5 says check work and verify using function composition. Okay, so how do I do that? What function composition is, it's a mathematical process, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our original function and we're going to plug it into our inverse function. Or we could do it backwards. We could take our inverse and plug it into our original. Okay? Either way, you should get the same answer. So what I'm going to do for step 5 is I'm going to take this. This stuff is going to get plugged in to x. Okay? And this is a way for us to check, did I really find the inverse? And I'm going to show you what happens. So let's plug that stuff in for x. So it's 3. Now instead of x, x has become all this. So it's 1/3 x minus 8. Plus 24. And now I'm going to distribute the 3. 3 times 1/3 x, that turns into 1x. 3 times -8 turns into -24. We bring down the positive 24. We do the math. 1x, nothing combines with 1x, but the -24 and positive 24 cancel out. And we are left with x. Okay? Because we are left with x, this means anytime you're just left with x, that means yes, we do have an inverse. Okay? So when you plug in one function, like we did here, one function into another, like we did here. So this function and this function were plugged into each other. We did the math, and if it equals x, that means it is an inverse. Okay, let's try example B a little bit faster. So step 1, we are going to change to y. That's -2/5 x minus 4. Flip-flop the x and y. Solve for y, so we're going to add 4. And then get rid of the -2/5, which means we multiply by its reciprocal, which is 5/2 negative. We don't switch the signs, so what you do to one side, you do to the other. So this is -5/2. These will cancel out, which leaves us with y, and then I'm going to distribute the -5/2. So we have -5/2 x. Okay, -5/2 times 4, so we multiply -5 with 4. That gives us -20/2. Remember, the bottom number multiplies with the 4's bottom number, which is 1. That's how we get 2. And then we could actually do this math. So all this becomes -5/2 x minus 10, because this is divisible, all equal to y. Again, I like my y on the left side, all my x stuff on the right side, so I'm just going to rewrite this. This is no math, we're just rewriting one side on the other. So it's really going to be y equals to -5/2 x minus 10. And then we turn y into function notation. So it's f of -1 of x equals -5/2 x minus 10. And then go ahead, let's check, does this work? So I'm going to plug in this stuff. We're going to compose it. It's called a function composition, when you plug one function into another. So this stuff is going to get plugged in into x. So we have -5/2, and instead of x, we put our original function, -2/5x. Minus 4. We can't forget the 10. All right. So we distribute now. What you'll notice is these guys actually will cancel out. The negatives turn to positive, the 5 cancels out, the 2's cancel out. We're left with x. When we multiply -5/2 times 4, again, it's -5 times -4. So think of it this way, we really have a 1 here. So -5 times -4, and then 2 times 1, that gives us positive 20/2. And don't forget, we still got -10 here. I'll bring that down. Okay, let's do some more work over here. So if we do the math correctly down here, 20/2 is actually 10. So it's going to be x plus 10 minus 10. And positive 10, -10, eliminate, and you're left with all this equaling x, which lets you know it's, yes, it's an inverse. Okay, go ahead and do example D, and then check if it's an inverse. All right, so here's the inverse here. So I want to point your eyes to this step. I square rooted both sides to get rid of the power of 2, and that's how I got from this step to this step and go from there. So go ahead and check if it's a composition. You're going to plug this information into this information or vice versa. And believe it or not, it's easier if you go in this direction. Plug in the inverse into here. All right, so we're going to do that next. See if you can follow along. So this is now going to get plugged into X. All right, I'm going to do the work above. Okay, so we have equal to, instead of X, we have square root of X plus 3 to the power of 2 minus 3. And what you have to remember, the power of 2 and the square root cancel each other out. We're left with X plus 3 minus 3. And 3 minus 3 cancel each other out, and you're left with X. So yes, this is an inverse.